Today's Ask Reddit post. Men, what's something women say that they think is okay, but is actually creepy as hell? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. Don't throw the condom in the toilet. Don't worry, I won't go fish it out of the trash, hahaha. I get from a plumbing standpoint why you want it in the trash. But once you add the second part, that's like serving someone a meal and saying don't worry, it isn't poisoned apropos of nothing. Asbestos-free cereal. A girl once tried to seduce me with the immortal words I'm as smooth down there as a 4 years old. This was almost 20 years ago, and to this day I just can't even. Did you respond with 4-year-olds aren't really my thing? What a coincidence. I'm hung like a 4-year-old. This is kinda specific to me and those in my situation, but I share the last name of a famous serial killer, very distantly related. Some women get way too excited when they find out. The amount of true crime fans who ask me on a date / said yes when I asked because of that has meant I literally have taken it off Facebook and don't tell people at first. Even a few months in I've gotten haha lol I only dated you cause it would be wild to be Mrs. Serial Killer. It's creepy. It makes me feel worthless and yes, I know every detail of what he did. Because of course I do. Everyone sends me the link anytime there is a new doco out. Please don't add my last name to your FB just cause we are dating. No, I won't stalk you while we watch a doco on him. Special shout out to women in Psych 101. I have large hands, ring finger size is 16, and I had a lady tell me once that I had sausage fingers and that she wanted to sit on them. I have small baby hands. Too bad we can't average him out. Baby hands. We are teaming you up with sausage fingers. I have long hair, so it gets touched without permission. I used to have long hair as well. The only time someone random touched it that didn't bug me was when I was crouched down at work and I felt a hand on my back. Turned around to see a 4-year-old just staring at me. Yeah, little kids get a pass. They're just curious. When they proudly say they are crazy and want a guy who can handle that. Yeah, there is nothing okay about being proud of that, and they should seriously consider getting help if they legitimately think they are unstable. There is too much liability being affiliated with a woman like this. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Something tells me your best isn't that much better than your worst. I'll just not handle you at all. Can I touch your beard? And proceeding to do so without waiting for an answer. Unless you're my wife or one of my kid nieces, the answer is no. By the way, had this happen many times. Usually not even with a can I touch first and just your beard looks so nice and immediately running fingers through it. Used to have long hair with some natural volume and all sorts of different behavior and colors. And whenever I'd go to the bar, some random middle-aged drunk lady would come up and touch it without asking. Didn't bother me much. But yeah, they definitely should be asking, and they never do. I'm bald, and was the only man who worked a front-facing position at a local clinic in a town with an aging population. The older/elderly women constantly wanted to rub my head, or be very inappropriate in general when speaking to me. The women in the office laughed about it until I pointed out how I would always step in and cover for them, or drive off the creepy guys for them, and this was no different. Don't get me wrong. The creepy men said and did far worse things to those women than the old women ever did / said to me, but they still made me uncomfortable. Last year or so I was there, they started helping me hide from the worst of the harassment. That was nice. For some reason your comment reminded me of another bald king who talked about a girl he met at the bar who was fetishizing his bald head. She really wanted to fart on his bald head for some reason and said she'd let him do whatever he wanted after that. Well, she farted on his head and apparently the smell turned him off so much he had no desire to do anything further and just left. He also got pink eye from that encounter. When I was really young and working in a coffee shop, a flirty older lady said you look exotic to me. Naive and impressionable me thought it was somehow remotely appropriate to use this line on another cute customer, and she did not smile when I said it. This thread has made me realize I'm too ugly to have women be creepy towards me. Mayo. What a ducked up world we live in. I need to go the river and look at a cool bird. To man up when all you're trying to do is chill. Nothing makes my blood boil faster than hearing that, especially from a woman. You have no idea what life is like being a man. So you don't get to tell me if I'm man enough or not. I don't tell you what it really means / how to be a real woman, because I don't know what it's like to live as a woman. So duck off. Married now, but when dating I had a few women ask if I was a grower or a shower. It just kinda seemed weird to ask over dinner on a date. I was flirty back. It's not like I'm gonna respond and say, hey, what color are you tits, are they more pink or brown? Should have asked her if it was an innie or an outie. Here's a tip. Asking a man what he has under his kilt is just as bad as asking a woman if she's wearing anything under her skirt. Even worse are the women who feel entitled to *CHECK*. Hasn't happened to me, thankfully, but fellow kilt wearers have had pretty bad encounters before. I've worn a kilt maybe twice in a country where they aren't super common. Both times had multiple women attempt to check what was underneath and constant comments. It was pretty shocking how many women didn't see anything wrong with it. Had a girl at a bar tap me on the shoulder and say, I love black guys. Do you like white girls? While grabbing my stomach before, so that was kinda creepy. Being fetishized is weird. On the surface it seems like someone is attracted to you. But then that fades and you realized you're being liked for what you are. Almost like you're their prey. Exactly how I felt. Spot on. Bragging about how proficient they are at stalking people on social media. It's creepy AF. I don't think some of the people replying to you seem to understand that these women literally call what they are doing stalking. I have heard multiple women refer to going through all of some new guy's social media, or at least attempting to, as stalking them. People replying, where did you get stalking from? It's their words, not yours. Groping. It happens a lot more than most women would like to admit. I can't count how many times I've had my ass, dick and balls groped by drunk women. Walking down the street in broad daylight and all of a sudden I felt a slap on my ass. I turned around and these two 20-something women were right behind me and started giggling while walking away. I was too dumbstruck to say anything, but it felt real poopty. I can't imagine what women go through with guys groping them all the time. I got approached by a woman at my friend's birthday party. This woman was mid-50s and I was 40 at the time. She is married with an adult daughter who was there. She approached me and said I was attractive, and I thanked her. She proceeded to continue to hit on me and then commented on my pecs and grabbed them. I took a step back and she saw the disgust in my face. She was offended I didn't want her touching me. She then got loud and made a scene, making me look like the asshole. All I wanted was to hang out with my friends and not be harassed. Women think they can get away with it because all guys want intercourse. But when they get denied, it's our fault. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Shakespeare. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega, *BRODIE*. I don't know about women, but I had a female manager interviewing me for a job telling me they were prone to cordial harassment at the workplace. Wink wink. Nudge nudge. I was 22. She was 50. Easily. That ducking sucked. I want a gay best friend. No, I'm not a ducking accessory. I deadass got told that I should become gay for this reason. Was kinda funny due to the absurdity, but also pretty weird since I'm straight. I have long curly hair. Women ask if they can touch my hair. While touching my hair I don't even get to respond. If I do it, I'm creepy like, come on bro. If I don't do it to you, don't do it to me. Just have respect, ladies. Don't be creeps. Not something they say, but many women feel it's okay to just make physical contact. I have a complex relationship with being touched, so it's hard for me to process, and then I get criticized for it. The amount of proud and insistent huggers I've met over the years is infuriating. I flat out don't like being touched. but somehow I'm the bad guy for drawing that line. Especially when it comes out of nowhere and from someone you barely know, if you even know them at all. You're well trained. Whenever they see me do dishes, vacuum or laundry, like I backquote they've been trained as some manservant, or they just expect husbands to be another child. Or other women introducing their male partners saying I have this one well trained. Really is horrible. Women asking me OHH what's under your kilt? To which I reply my wife is best friend or a perch for 8 golden eagles. It usually ends there. Honestly though, it's mostly dudes who ask, to which I say, why is it always men who wanna know, and it usually ends there. A perch for 8 golden eagles is incredible. Think of the talons. I'm on birth control. We don't need to use condoms. That's when you insist on condoms or you go home. Unless you want to peel lava. Even if she's telling the truth and is free from STDs, there's still a chance of pregnancy. When I was an Uber driver, I'd sometimes get a car full of girls say something like, "You're not gonna kill us, are you?" I started replying with, "Nah, when you're as good at it as I am, you don't do it for free. Sorry, that's part of the Uber Deluxe package. I want to skin you alive and eat your organs." My arms are heavily tattooed. Women will often say, "Can I see your tattoos?" and then immediately start touching them. I have some pretty obvious self-harm scars on my forearms, so it's super embarrassing and always makes me really uncomfortable. I know I have my own blame in the situation, but yeah, not a fan. Friend, you have no blame whatsoever for being touched without consent. You being uncomfortable is a product of the boundary being crossed. I feel sad that you are put in that situation by women with no regard for personal space, and I'm sorry that happens. I had a girl come up to me at a bar, stand in front of me, take off my hat, and put it on her head. I just looked at her confused. Then she rolled her eyes, put it back on my head and ducked off. Like, sorry, I'm confused by this mating ritual. Not that all women are like this, but I'm concerned for the women that talk about the healing powers of crystals bought from Etsy. Healing crystals are overpriced. I get great value healing crystals from Walmart, and they don't work just fine. I make my own healing crystals. They don't work just as well. Touching me. I don't like anyone touching me. It's not some autistic thing. It's a I don't know you, and you shouldn't be that close in the first place. It's not a general thing, but it's definitely the weirdest thing a woman has said to me. I was 17 and working the metal detectors at a concert venue. It was a country concert, and we were told to pat down any cowboy boots. We only did body pat downs as a last resort to finding something. A lady was coming through with her friends, only she had boots on. I told her I had to check the boots, just pressing down on either side of the leg part to check for flasks. She said, "Oh, how many pretty girls have you tried this on?" while laughing with her friends. She was easily as old as my mother. 7. Actually, counting you, it's still 7 inches. I had a woman talk about us getting married after the first time we had intercourse. We hadn't even been on an official date yet. I bolted out of there, but it was my house. I told her that I had to work early in the morning, but she didn't get the hint. She was intent on spending the night. To make matters worse, the intercourse was terrible. The scourge of Carpathia, the sorrow of Moldavia, command you, *on a mountain of skulls, in the castle of pain. I sat on a throne of blood. What was will be. What is will be no more. Now is the season of evil. Yes, we've heard this already. The scourge. I love how the dude mumbles while he's pontificating. Asking to see my phone. I have nothing to hide on my phone, but I still don't like it. I don't wanna have to go through a whole interrogation on why I've been searching this or that. My aunt kissed me on the lips when I was a teenager. I said no. She didn't care. I hated it then. I still hate it now. Some lady I worked with once touched my stomach and asked me when I'm due. If the situation would have been reversed, I would have been fired. Asterisk I'm the gatekeeper. We must prepare for the coming of Gozer. Asterisk. There is no Dana. There is only Zool. My wife saying she has this fantasy of her and our daughter tricking wealthy men into some sort of marriage scam and getting a bunch of money. When they claim they can duck any man they want, usually in front of your so. I have had multiple cougars start a conversation with me by saying, hey cutie, I would like to break off a piece of you. I know someone that went to a intercourse club with his gal. He related to me that she said I could sleep with any guy in here. It sounded like a point of pride. I thought about it later and was like, every guy is literally there to bury his bone. That doesn't really seem like a flex. Stalking your social media to learn everything about you. Some of the get angry if you have no social media presence. Yay, I have none besides Reddit. Was in a bar. A girl comes up to me and asks if she could feel the size of my penis. I'm pretty tall, so I get it a lot. What confuses me to this day is that it was in front of her boyfriend. Defo trouble that one. Just trying to get a response from her boyfriend at your expense. A lot of women don't believe they are capable of committing assault, and so do things that would definitely be considered rape if a man did it. I've had women refuse to leave my apartment unless I sleep with them. I've been bullied and made fun of for not wanting intercourse. I've been groped. It really sucks. Edit. I've also been body shamed a lot just for being uncircumcised. One time I was hooking up with a girl in college, and when I took my pants off she said, what the duck is wrong with your dick, with a tone you would expect for someone with active breakouts of genital warts, herpes, and syphilis sores all at the same time. Like absolute disgust and horror. I was /am completely standard free though. She had just never once in her life seen a natural dick before. Needless to say I kicked her the duck out after that. On the flip side I've also been fetishized and objectified a lot because I'm taller, muscular, well endowed, have a weirdly background ass for a guy, etc etc. Which while often flattering, if I'm in the mood for it and enjoying the attention, can also be really dehumanizing and degrading depending on the context. Not something said, but when I worked at a cafe for a bit, the accountant for the cafe pat me on the ass and called me cutie. None of the owners saw, but customers and co-workers saw. When I talked to the owners, the accountant was told to apologize, and instead she said it was meant to be endearing, and tbh how quickly it was let slide was 100% disturbing. I've actually heard a couple women say, if you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Thanks for making the red flag so obvious. Much appreciated. I'm so glad I don't touch men without being asked to first. Don't brag about weird poop I do on the internet. I used to touch attractive men when I was younger. I really didn't know it was rappy. I was so immature I didn't understand that how I was feeling was not how everyone else was feeling. Such a strange thing to realize one day. When men or women say body count, sounds like a serial killer. Honestly never understood this. I have a body count in the dozens. But am I gonna brag about it? Fuck no. My virgin ass can't handle the electric chair. I had to read this twice before I understood. Can you still get it up like duck you? This is the equivalent of man asking a woman if she is tight or still gets wet. For you? Probably not. I don't get creeped out because I'm not overly sensitive and not much worries me in general. That said, the thing that annoys me lately is more about word choice. It seems lately that mostly women are using or misusing quasi-technical terms related to psychological or social issues in order to lend a bit more authority to whatever it is they are saying. So instead of my colleague acted like a douchebag and she left me feeling annoyed, they'll offer my colleague is a toxic narcissist and her abuse has left me with trauma. On the one hand it's just a dumb trend, but on the other hand those words actually do have real use for people experiencing actual, diagnosed, psychological issues or abuse. And throwing the terms around devalues the currency of the words for people who might really need them. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.